Hello, my dear friends. On this occasion, we're going to delve into an old, controversial, super illustrative, interesting, and dark book with the intention of entertaining you and leaving you thinking about this crazy book. Alright, let's sit down and talk about the Malleus Maleficarum, the Hammer of the Witches, that raw, no-holds-barred 1486 manual straight out of late medieval Germany. You wanted the full rundown on this thing, also called the Book of the Holy Inquisition in some translations, and I'm going to lay it out like we're grabbing a coffee and I'm walking you through the wildest parts. No sugarcoating, no modern PC spin, just the straight facts, the way these Dominican inquisitors Heinrich Kramer, who went by Henricus Instatoris, and Jacob Springer, though historians argue Springer's role was more name on the cover than heavy lifting, put it down in Latin. It was printed in Spire, got the papal nod from Innocent VIII's 1484 bull, Summis Desiderant Effectibus, and became the go-to handbook for witch hunters across Europe for the next couple centuries. Think of it as the ultimate playbook for guys who saw Satan's crew actively sabotaging Christian society, families, farms, and faith itself. In an era of plagues, wars, and social upheaval, these authors weren't playing games. They believed real evil was out there, making pacts with the devil and wrecking lives. And they wrote this to arm judges, clergy, and secular authorities with the tools to smash it. The book kicks off with some heavy introductory stuff. The papal bull authorizing Kramer and Springer to hunt down sorcery in Germany, a forward-looking approbation from Cologne theologians, some of whom later denied signing off or even condemned parts of it, and Kramer's own apologia explaining why the world's evening was bringing a surge in this heretical perversity of sorceresses. Then it dives into three main parts, written in that classic scholastic question and answer style, pulling from the Bible, Thomas Aquinas, Aristotle, and earlier demonologists like Johannes Nider. It's not some wild fantasy rant. It's methodical, almost legalistic, treating witchcraft as a real crime and accept them, a special crime that let you bend normal rules because the stakes were eternal souls and societal order. Part 1 is the theological deep dive, proving witchcraft is real, not some delusion, and laying out the three ingredients needed for it to work: the witch herself, the devil's power, and God's permission, because nothing slips past divine sovereignty, even evil. They refute skeptics who lean on the old canon episcopi, which calls some magic just dreams or illusions, by arguing, no, this stuff is tangible harm caused through demonic pacts. Question after question hammers at home. Can devils and witches really team up to make things happen? Yeah. Can incubi and succubi knock up women or impregnate them with demon seed? Absolutely, they claim, with stories of half-demon kids. Why are way more women witches than men? Here's where they go full throttle, and yet it's brutally direct. Question 6 is infamous. Women are chiefly addicted to evil superstitions because they're more credulous, have weaker intellects and faith, but way stronger carnal lusts. All wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman. They quote from Ecclesiasticus, tying it to Eve's fall. Women's tongues run wild. They're defective in body and soul powers, quicker to doubt God, and their insatiable appetites make them easy marks for the devil's temptations. It's not pulling punches. The authors saw this as observable reality in their world, where women were statistically the ones confessing to this crap during trials. They cover how witches sway minds to love or hate, block procreation, huge issue for family lines and inheritance in a predominantly agrarian society, make a guy think his junk vanished, prestidigitation illusion, or turn men into beasts. Midwives get special shade for killing babies in a womb or offering newborns to devils. The section ends by comparing witches' crimes to every kind of devilish sin and preaching against laymen who downplay God's allowance of such power. Bottom line, denying witches exist is heresy itself, and the whole thing sets up the cosmic battle, Satan's final push before the end times.
Hey everyone, I hope you enjoy this video and find it entertaining. If you'd like to see more content like this, check out my YouTube channel.
Part 2 gets gritty with the actual practices, how witches operate, the harms they cause, and how to fight back. It's split into two questions. First, the methods devils use through witches to recruit and destroy. Second, the remedies, mostly church rituals, exorcisms, and countermeasures. Recruitment starts with devils luring the innocent via despair, lust, or promises of power, formal pacts where you renounce the faith, get baptized by the devil, and often have sex with him. Witches get transported to Sabbaths. They fly on brooms or animals after rubbing on flying ointment, copulate with incubi, and work spells through church sacraments twisted for evil. The harms are practical and hit right where it hurts a working man's world: impotence and blocking procreation, They detail recipes and rituals for making a guy sterile or unable to perform, stealing genitals through illusion magic. The victim feels it, but it's illusion. Turning men into animals, possessing bodies, inflicting diseases, killing livestock, blighting crops, and raising hailstorms or tempests by boiling piss, hair, and herbs in a pot while cursing. Which midwives are the worst? They abort fetuses or sacrifice infants to demons. Archers who use magic arrows get called out too. They even cover how witches injure cattle or steal milk. But it's not all doom. The second half gives remedies. Holy water, exorcisms, prayers, confession, and countermeasures like counterspells or protective charms blessed by the church. The authors emphasize that while God permits it, faithful action can annul most of it. This part is packed with real-life anecdotes pulled from confessions and lore, making it read like a field manual for spotting and stopping everyday demonic sabotage, storms ruining harvests, neighbors' cows drying up, sudden impotence wrecking marriages. In a conservative, property-owning society, this was explosive stuff. Evil wasn't abstract. It was attacking your livelihood, your heirs, your community. Part 3 is the hammer itself, the legal playbook for trials. This is where it turns procedural, guiding judges, ecclesiastical or secular, on how to run a witch hunt from start to finish. It starts with initiating the process. Public rumors, accusations from witnesses, even enemies or criminals count in some cases since it's crime and accept them. Number of witnesses, re-examining them under oath, handling mortal enemies as accusers. Then arrest, imprisonment, questioning the accused in 2 ways, nice cop then tough, and the big one, torture. Yeah, they greenlight it strappado, hoisting by ropes, waterboarding style stuff, or whatever fits, but with rules, no blood, no permanent damage if possible, and you can promise life in exchange for confession, but often renege if needed. Look for signs, no tears when questioned, devil's marks, shave the body to find them, inability to recite the Lord's Prayer perfectly, or extra teats for feeding familiars. The accused gets a defense or an advocate, but limited. Names of witnesses can be withheld for safety. If she clams up, more torture, repeated exams. Sentencing ranges from light penance for repentant first-timers to life in prison or burning at the stake for the unrepentant or relapsed. The book stresses coordinating with secular authorities for execution since the church didn't do the killing itself. It's methodical, almost bureaucratic, protect yourself from their spells while judging, use leading questions, and always remember the goal, eradicate the threat to restore order. Overall, the Malleus sold like hotcakes, dozens of editions, second only to the Bible in some counts, and it's supercharged with trials, especially in Germany, France, and beyond. Estimates vary, but it helped fuel the craze that claimed tens of thousands, mostly women, over the next 200 years. Not every hunt followed it to the letter, and some church folks slammed it for unethical shortcuts or clashing with doctrine, but secular courts loved the practical toolkit. It wasn't the sole cause of the hunts. That was a perfect storm of fear, politics, and real folk beliefs, but it codified the playbook. In reflection, man, this book is a time capsule of serious men in a serious age taking spiritual warfare dead seriously. They saw evil as an active, organized force gunning for families, property, and Christian civilization, and they met it head-on without apology. It's raw, sometimes over the top, and yet the gender stuff reads like a sledgehammer today, but it reflected their honest read of human nature, scripture, and confessions rolling in. The lesson? Vigilance against real threats is crucial, but unchecked hysteria or bad evidence can crush the innocent. It's a cautionary tale on balancing justice, faith, and power. For a simple, practical example, picture a small-town farmer in 1500s Europe whose cows suddenly stop giving milk, and his neighbor's wife has been muttering curses after a land dispute. Under the Malleus, you don't just lynch her, you gather credible witnesses, question her methodically, maybe under oath, checking for marks or tears, use measured interrogation if needed, weigh defenses, and if the evidence and confession hold, punish to protect the community's livelihood and moral order. No mob rule, but no letting evil slide either. Straightforward, direct, and aimed at safeguarding what matters most. That's all for today, my friends. I hope you enjoyed the summary and the entertaining and informative approach I try to take after this read, which, while intense, brutal, and entertaining, proved to be very thought-provoking and interesting. Until the next story, everyone.
That's all for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please consider subscribing, leaving a like, and dropping a comment below. And if you'd like to support the channel even further, you can follow me on TikTok and Instagram for more content like this, and you can find my other social media in the description below. See you in the next video.